All right, we are live. Oh, something went wrong over there. Let's try that again. Okay. Hi, everyone. Welcome to Astrologic, where we basically try to make sense of, the sun and the moon and the planets and how everything informs our life so that we can live from a place of power and information. And my name is Ellie Shoja. I'm the author of Your Heart Knows the Way, this Oracle card deck. And what we're actually going to do is do some readings today for this full moon that's coming up in just a few days. And to help us kind of maneuver through everything, I have with me Susie Roberts. Susie Roberts is an astrologically guided life coach.
Right.
What does that mean, Susie?
It means one of the many tools that I use is astrology, and I take somebody's chart and it gives me a profile, sort of a portrait of their potential. And it gives me another way to communicate with somebody and I like to say, to speak your language. And we all have different languages. And so that is a guide that I use to help you navigate through your various challenges or dreams, desires, whatever it is.
Yeah. So you are in really good hands here. And if you're joining us live, you're in for a treat because you actually can ask questions. We can do specific readings for you. We can look at how things apply to you specifically. So ask your questions, engage with us in dialogue. And if we don't get any specific questions, we'll just address what's going on generally.
Right. And I guess we could start with our full moon.
Yes.
That is going to be in Gemini, the sign of the communicator, right?
Ooh.
And we also have an eclipse at the same time. So we have an eclipse also in Gemini, and the sun is in Sagittarius. It's opposite. And so it's all about how we communicate. It's about how we learn. It's about how we think and process in abstract ways.
Okay.
And as Gemini is in sort of a data-driven way. So we have both ways coming to us, and we are going to be going through these processes right now because of this full moon expansion, opening up, right? And this eclipse of just deeply bringing stuff up and out and having so many questions and really philosophizing, right? And really getting out there and trying to figure out what's going on and why are these things suddenly coming up? Because we're going to get them out now, and it's for the collective as well as ourselves personally.
So I know going into this time, we just had an election.
Right.
We had a change in the office. There's a lot of a lot of people have felt misheard or misunderstood. Does that mean then we're entering a time of actually listening better or understanding better or also communicating better?
This is an opportunity for us to do that.
Okay.
Right? Sagittarius, which the sun is in now, so right now we're in Sagittarius, is all about expansion and growth and travel. Well, normally we could do traveling, but we could travel in our places where we'd like to go, but we're reaching out to the global community as well as we're reaching out into ourselves as a local community and ourselves personally to understand where we're going. And we now more than ever want answers. And so we're asking so many questions, right? And this is a perfect opportunity. If you're wondering why you had this urge to just start questioning things and learning and reaching out, it's because of these transits.
Yeah.
Super important.
It's so funny you bring up travel because just in the last few days, I've been like really wanting to travel. So I've been looking up. I even started watching travel shows, which I don't normally do. Does that have something to do with what's happening with the moon?
It's fueling your curiosity, right? All of this. And so is the sun in Sagittarius is fueling that.
Yeah.
And it's not just traveling, it's traveling and learning about things. And that restlessness that we're having, and God knows because of the various pauses and shutdowns and control over how our movement, we're really craving that now more so than ever. And so we're questioning, we're learning, and we're discovering. And now is a perfect opportunity to do that and to lay those plans down and those intentions for as we move forward. So question, from deep, abstract to just facts and information.
Yeah.
And as we're moving to this expansive time, we just want to know more and understand more and kind of think outside the box, which is really kind of a cool thing to be doing.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. I mean, I feel like I'm not the only one then. I must not be the only one who's feeling those things. You said you used the word philosophizing.
Right.
It's such an interesting word to use. In what sense specifically do you refer to it?
Because Gemini is the planet of communications, and it's these immediate communications, and it's our facts, and it's our learning. Sagittarius is its opposite in the chart, and it's more of an expansive, I take all that information that I've learned and that I'm still gaining, and I think about it in a very abstract way. It's religious, it's spirituality in that sense, and it's just expanding on all that knowledge and all that information that you've had. Gemini is travel in your immediate close by, and Sagittarius is traveling farther away, right? And it's so taking all that information and everything that you're learning and expanding on it, and then just being like a philosopher. You just look at it in that abstract way. It's no more, just concrete facts. It's like, what are you going to do with it? And then just go for it, right?
Yeah.
It's that kind of thing.
So what does that mean for people who are actually Sagittariuses?
Well, it's who they are, and they may have an inner drive that they want to travel, that they think about things in ways that other people don't, right? And that they are it's a fire sign. Yes. And so they're very strong-willed about their feelings and how they navigate, and they're an extraordinarily lucky sign. It's ruled by the planet Jupiter, and Jupiter is expansion and luck, and they are very fortunate. It is very much they can be restless. In other words, they may want to do a lot of travel, not be at home, not doing that. May be just in who they are, and they may write a lot, and they may be journalists, and this is something that they're very good at. Yeah. And so that's what a Sagittarius would be. And their opposite is the Gemini. So the Gemini is that duality, right? It's the Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. It's I can keep things inside, but I'm going to get stuff out of you, right? It's also they're people. That's an air sign. They want to communicate, and they're ruled by Mercury, the planet of communication. But they also are one of the best multitasking signs in the chart in astrology. They can multitask and actually multitask. Some of us try to do it, and we don't do it well. They're in who they are.
I can't multitask at all.
Right.
It's an impossibility for me.
Well, we try. We say that we are, and then it's like, they can literally 100% attention, and they do it, and they are gifted with that. And those who have a lot of Gemini in their chart are also. So it's and here we are in the full moon in Gemini, right? And so that's just expanding on that for them.
Yeah. Is there someone, a specific sign that struggles the most during this full moon, do you think?
Well, you would struggle in it in a sense. Look, it's opening up those pathways of communication, right? Since it's ruled by Mercury, rules Gemini. So if you have challenges with communication, if your Mercury is positioned in a way where a full moon may be hitting it in a challenging aspect, we call it, then you might have some challenges with it, or it may be bringing some things up that are
that you don't want to deal with,
right? But it's an opportunity to do that, and they just may not cope as well as other people if you have an aspect in your chart. Same with the eclipse in general. As it angles, as it intersects certain parts of your where your planets are, you may have more challenges, and other people may just slide right through it, right? So a Gemini and a Sagittarius may be more affected by a full moon and particularly an eclipse.
Okay.
right? And so you're just aware of that, and it's all about knowledge and awareness,
Yeah.
as is with anything in life, right? If we are aware of a problem or anything, then we're already stepped into finding the solution.
Right.
That's what's so important.
So as far as that awareness goes, if somebody is struggling, if something is coming up, let's say that they don't want to deal with, or they are struggling with communication because they feel very uncomfortable or exposed by it, what are some things that they can do?
Well, when we tend to have challenges communicating,
Yeah.
and look, if something's being brought up, if we bury it back down, we're never going to address the issue and move forward from it. However, step in lightly, right? Take baby steps into a problem or an area that is affecting your life in a negative way, right? It's all about recognizing it and then allowing it and then dealing with it, right?
Right.
I have found that we are hardest on ourselves than anybody else.
That is very true. I have to say, Susie, I love that you are a life coach, because I see the life coach coming through. I feel like I'm getting a little glimpse into the way you work with people. It's really quite wonderful.
I mean, I think if we uncover things, then we're already halfway there, right? We're already stepped in. The hardest part is for somebody to actually acknowledge something. But once it's out there, that stress of not talking about something, of not dealing with it, you've already passed that part. So you can breathe.
Yeah,
right?
Absolutely. Absolutely true. So let's do a reading for this full moon.
Okay.
See what is in store, what to look out for, maybe, or what what guidance these cards will provide for the full moon, with all this like openness and communication. I know it's Thanksgiving this week, and a lot of people don't actually enjoy spending Thanksgiving with their families because things come up, right? So I'm thinking, as you're talking, I'm thinking about, oh my goodness, all of those Thanksgiving dinners now will have more communication, more people trying to, get to the bottom of things. And that must not be too pleasant for some people.
Well, fortunately, I would say we have virtual. We're having a lot of virtual Thanksgivings. Our groups are smaller. So I think there hopefully will be a tendency to maybe not talk about those subjects that can cause so much dissent, right?
Correct.
We can agree to disagree. The one thing that this does show us at this moment is that we are more likely to step in and be open to other people's opinions.
Right.
Nice. Right. It's that time where we can be open to listening to other people's opinions. We do not have to agree with it.
Right.
However, we don't have to disagree with it, and we don't have to disagree with it disagreeably, right? We can agree to just hear each other. That's like, just listen. Right?
And what a skill that is, to just be able to listen without, trying to make someone see or agree with your point of view.
Half the thing is people just want to be heard. You don't have to agree to just be heard is probably one of the most important things that we have in our lives. And one of the challenges that we have is that people don't feel heard.
That's such wise words. All right. So we're going to do a quick reading from this Oracle card deck, Your Heart Knows the Way, which is created by Peace Unleashed, and comes with a guidebook, 115 pages, and then 52 incredibly beautiful cards that are very heart-opening. So let's see what these cards will say about this specific full moon in Gemini, this full moon of communication and expansion, essentially.
Awareness and community.
Susie, I'll lay these out. I'll put the camera down so you can see. Susie, would you like to pick?
There we go. I bet those two want to come as well.
Find peace in your heart. I'll put the camera up a little bit so you can see what this card looks like. It's card number 37. So that's a 10.
Yeah, which is a 1, which is leadership.
Wow. And the card is find peace in your heart. Extended quote is, the path to world peace is through your own heart. Oh my goodness. Already, you said, I don't know how you worded it exactly, but you said in the macro, this kind of sense of expansion and communication.
Globally.
And it's a global thing that's happening right now, as well as individually.
Correct.
And it's so interesting that this card brings together that global vision and the individual responsibility. Wow. Do you wish to change the world for the better? Is your mission in life spreading light across the globe? If you're watching this, I bet you said yes to these. There's a fire in you that desires to warm the world, but the world is large and your flame seems so small. There's a part of you that believes you can make a difference, but your efforts feel futile against the vastness of the problems to be solved. This card reminds you that you cannot bring peace to the world if you do not have it within your heart. How can you uplift others if you feel discouraged and small? Today, your task is to cultivate hope within your heart, fantasize about all things beautiful, and ruminate on the ripple effects of love. Observe as the power of your elevated emotions is felt by those around you. This is how you become an uplifter in your family, your community, and the world. This is how you become a beacon of light, and you realize that one peaceful heart has more power than 1,000,000 in pain.
Again, as last time, the card represents everything that we're going through, right?
Yeah.
Wow. That's amazing.
Every time you pull a card, I'm like, it's spot on.
It's something. Because those are the messages we need, right? These are the messages that we need to hear right now and to recognize. And we can't fix global problems or even in our community unless we step in and acknowledge that we're a part of it.
Right.
But it starts within. Change starts within.
Yeah.
Right? Always.
Absolutely.
Right. This is amazing. That's amazing.
That is so amazing. And I love the image of this too. And by the way, guys, all of these paintings that are on these beautiful cards, they're done by a Los Angeles-based artist, Crystal Orco. This is what I want to show you. It's an angel holding this beautiful dove in her hand, cultivating that peace. What a beautiful representation of that, cultivating that peace within yourself.
That's key.
Yeah. And I mean, we see that, we see evidence of that, the impact of that in our own lives. When I'm having a bad day, all of a sudden the people around me start having bad days, and when I'm having a really good day, people around me start having really good days. That's not accidental. We impact the world around us. We impact energetically, even when we're not talking to someone, just on our energy seeps out. Who are those people that that walk into the room and you just feel better, right? You just feel better because that person walked in the room. That's how high their energy is, right?
Right.
And then there are those people, they walk in the room and you just, you don't know what happened, but you just get hit by that.
Right.
But by like a little bump. Right?
And everybody feels that. It's not something that people feel because they meditate more or they're more connected.
Yeah.
I mean, all of us have walked into a place and gone, wow, it's just there's something feels off or something doesn't feel right, or God, that person's in a really bad mood, or wow, that one's in a really, and they may not have said a word, but it's that energy that they put out. We all are energy, right? From our heartbeat, energy, everything is all energy, and we can sense other people's energy. and sense that when you walk into a room. And you can even just change somebody with a smile. Okay, these days with the mask, but people smile with their eyes, right? And you can walk in and shift somebody's day, either positively or negatively, by the mood or the presence that you have with you. So working on ourselves and being in the best alignment and at as much peace as we can be. Look, I'm not going to say that we don't all have our days. Right.
Totally.
But
I know I do.
Right. But the best thing to go is, okay, I'm having, I've had a moment and I'm going to push that away. And now I have moments there that haven't been touched yet. And I'm going to go in with a different attitude, a different mindset. Right. And literally you have to talk to yourself that way at times too. Not mine, done. Okay. You know what? And just you may have to say it a lot of times, but it works. And writing things down really helps to really sit and get it out.
Yeah.
Right.
Writing things down. Definitely. I do. So I'm not as knowledgeable on these topics of astrology as you are. And you mentioned that we are in an eclipse also. And are there specific things that we should know about eclipses in general? And also about this one?
Well, as I mentioned, this is a lunar eclipse, and so it's more involving, it's involving the moon, and it's the planets that interact with each other, and they interact with the nodes, which are parts of the moon and where they hit, and it's your past and your future.
Okay.
Right. So it brings up the past. These will bring up the past and bring up the future, and because these are both communicative signs that are related to communicating and talking and thinking and all of that, this particular one will impact us more, right? In those areas and where they hit. And it's very specific to somebody's astrological chart as to where they would personally be affected.
I see.
Right. But the awareness of this time and that those planets and those signs are affected can open the pathways and your doors to recognizing and understanding why you're thinking things certain, again, it's all about awareness. Right. And it's how you embody that it affects you. Right. And there are times we have a full moon. Anytime we have a full moon, things rise in us. Yeah. Right. And our fluid levels change, high tide, full moon, less gravitational pull. Right. So that affects us too. So we think more, we may have more effects physiologically because of that and wonder why am I swelling more? Why are things more? Why am I suddenly, feeling certain things? Right. And because it's in Gemini and Mercury, we are feeling things more on a thought level, right? And Gemini is also about the arms, and so we may feel things more in our arms, and so we want to be a little bit, cognizant of what's going on physiologically in our body and be aware to, watch what you're doing, right? Watch what you're doing, how you think, and then also what you're doing with your body.
Interesting. Yeah. Interesting. What it would be like a really great kind of full moon ritual for somebody? I know we have like full moon rituals in general. Would you make some modifications? Actually, let's just talk about a general full moon ritual, because somebody watching this might not be familiar what that even means. And then if you would make any specific modifications for this one.
There are so many rituals out there. People do anything. I was talking to somebody and they're like, oh, I'm going to go, just stand outside and look at the moon and, howl at the moon. I just wanted we did that actually.
we howled at the moon.
We actually did that in October. Right. And so the Halloween,
you were here.
I was here for that. It's very liberating to just do that. Right. Fun. But some people just go outside and sit. Some people burn incense. Some people, I always advise to set an intention, right? That some people love to take baths, and you can use Epsom salt baths. You can use Himalayan salt baths. They help you in so many levels. Anyway, I find that the write and release, the write, burn and release. Yeah. So writing something on paper, right? Handwriting it, and then wrapping it up and burning it in a safe place,
Yeah.
right? And then acknowledging that you have learned, thank you for the lesson, the guidance, the experience, and I send it off with love. And you watch it burn, and you release it. And then you don't think about that subject matter anymore. It's something that's bothering you. It's a situation, you just write it all out and you burn it and release it. And watching it, at least in the universe, will take it and move forward. That's one thing. And I think specifically Gemini communication, it's probably really important this time. That would be part of your ritual, whatever it may be. Teas, whatever it is, whatever you feel comfortable with, go for it. Right. And just spend that quiet time, turn off electronics, and just spend that time just going within. It's not hard, and it doesn't matter if you hear things or thoughts come in your head, as you have so wonderfully taught. In fact, it's a very positive thing when you can then push them away, focus yourself again, and it's just sort of go in. It's a really wonderful opportunity, and I can't tell you how many moons I've sat outside and just looked up at that moon and gone, wow, this is really cool, and just sat there and just was quiet. Whatever makes you comfortable, and whatever isn't in your normal routine, right? That you do especially, and that's what I would do.
So we're nearing kind of the end of our show. We try to keep it to about 30 minutes. So it's nice and informative and digestible. I do want to do another reading, and this one for people who are kind of maybe struggling with the communication, with the stuff that's coming up. Maybe they are feeling especially stuck as a result of this full moon that we're in. And so I want to do a reading for those people. If you're identifying with that, if you're having a really hard time with this full moon, this reading is for you.
We're in a big time of transition. We are politically, the leadership of the country is changing, and it's a challenging time for people. And there's a lot of unknown. A lot of unknown. This is a perfect opportunity to see where we should focus on.
And I think a lot of people struggle with unknown and transitions, and not knowing where to go, what to do. It's very uncomfortable.
I've been there. Control freak. I mean, I own it. Scorpio. My moon's a Scorpio. It's all about control. And when I don't have some information, it just makes I have learned to just but still, knowledge and transparency are so important. And so for those of us who think that way, who have those aspects, this is really challenging because it's out of our control and we don't know what's going on. So that information, so this is profound, and to find out.
This is for them. This is for you. Here we go. Would you like to do the honors, Susie?
I'm going to do this hand. Okay.
Ooh.
Remember your perfection.
9. Ooh. Remember your perfection. Look at that painting. It's just so beautiful. She's rising out of the water. Okay. Number 9. Remember your perfection. Extended quote. Your salvation is always just a change of focus away. It's all inside of you. Do you know you create the reality with your focused attention? Your reality with your focused attention. Whatever you focus on expands. Where your attention goes, your energy flows. You understand these truths in theory, and yet you fixate on that which is not working. You allow your mind to dwell on your fears, and you tell stories to justify your pain. All the while, your energy flows to that which you don't want, creating in your life more limitations, further strengthening the stories of pain. This card reminds you that there is a better way to live. Take control of your mind today. Become intentional with your thoughts. Oh my gosh, Susie. When your fears arise, soothe yourself by saying, everything is working out for me. When your pain occupies you, remind yourself, this too will pass. When you want to fight for your limitations, let go and exclaim, I'd rather be happy than right. In this way, gently guide yourself back into remembering that you alone are the chooser of your life. Wow.
True.
I feel like this card kind of like hit the core of a lot of these issues that we have with things like change and uncertainty. It's the way we're looking at it,
Right.
the way we're interpreting it, the way we're seeing ourselves helpless. We're seeing these things happening to us rather than for our advantage. So that point of view is the thing that creates that suffering within us.
Right. Your mindset.
Yeah,
right?
your mindset. And I love that the card just kind of went to the core of the problem.
Right. Right.
And it's like, okay, if you're suffering, it's because you are forgetting that you are a perfect being and everything is always working out for you.
You had it,
Yeah.
where your energy, your focus goes,
Yeah.
your energy flows in that direction, right? So if we're focusing on the negative, that's what we're going to see.
Yes.
Right? If we're focusing on the positive, on opportunity, that's what we're going to see. Mind is extraordinarily powerful. People can heal themselves
Yes.
with the mindset of not allowing themselves to live by the label of being sick, right?
Yeah.
So same thing with what is going on here. It's the mind is so powerful. It's what's going on around us that we're not controlling, that we can't control, but what we can is here, and how that information, how we let it in or not, right? And that's what's so profound about this card, and it speaks to that. And it's all, again, it comes from within, and then how we navigate life and how we treat other people, right? It's so important. I mean, this is classic. And so timely, because of course,
so timely,
right? It's beautiful.
Ah, wonderful. So, any last words for our audience as we send them off into the full moon?
Expand, right?
Yeah.
Expansion, knowledge, and allow yourself the opportunity to understand and forgive.
Ooh.
Forgive yourself and forgive others. You do not have to tell them to their face, but forgive yourself and forgive, forgive, and just allow people to be who they are, as they would allow you to be who you are.
Right.
And we will get through this phase and just set that intention for what you want to achieve and how you want to be seen this cycle.
Oh, I love that. And anything that doesn't fit on that, you can write it out, burn it, during the full moon, and do a little ceremony for yourself.
Right.
So powerful. Yeah.
There's no wrong way to do it. It's just what's right for you.
Yeah.
And what feels good.
Yeah.
Right.
Wonderful. So we hope that this was helpful for you. If you love these cards as much as we do and you want to pick up your own deck, they are on Amazon. You can pick them up, free shipping in the US, and some great deals through the holidays with them on Amazon. And until next time, I hope that you expand, continue expanding. We love you very much, and we'll see you next month.
Bye.
Bye.